Hello, 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 Biomutant here yet again after 2 weeks of off-season. War season 26 finally started. I say finally, some were excited, some were less excited, some will be less excited. I'm in between actually. The first war, um, yeah, I like this war, so I'm excited. But beforehand, I actually was not at all excited for the season to start, kinda. But once it started and I did my fights, I was excited. Because I'm fighting with my new phone, the Galaxy S21 Ultra. Of course, not as fast loading times as the iPhones on MCOC, but still the difference is huge with what I've been working with last season. Um, Sometimes there are still like those they aren't frame drops, they are like, it's a little bit weird. I think it's with the battery saving mode or something. Definitely need that off when playing MCOC. And also I got a screen protector that's off now. I noticed it, and in this war I actually already noticed. I guess an input not triggering because of it. Well, I think maybe I'm actually that bad and I don't know how to dash back or block or whatever. But yeah, I'm also trying to be more educational on these fights instead of blabbering through it, which I'm actually doing right now. What the hell? No, but this is a diversity fight. It's on the ebb and flow knockdown, but basically the first one isn't that special. And with Omega Red, after you have 10 spores applied, they can't shrug, so they can't shrug after you knock them down to get. Well, they do get the protection back, but um, they don't shrug your degen, or if you have a parry currently on, they don't shrug that, which is very nice with Omega Red, as well as against King Root. In general, Omega Red is nice because he also doesn't shrug his parries or degen with the if he has Furies when you are above 10 spores. I mean, maybe even if you have 6 spores, it can be because it's 10% per spore, as I mentioned a lot of times before. But the second fight on this pad is normally the hard one because they have like heavies you can't really counter, even though with Nick Fury there is I guess it's some kind of bug. Don't know if it will ever be fixed. But it's basically if you have a multi-hit heavy, that heavy will still connect even though they are unstoppable. They won't go at you on your first heavy hit, so your second lands. So that's alright. But yeah, here I'm not doing that with Omega Red. I'm just using the Magneto heal block trick, which is a nice synergy he has with Sabertooth. So this is a very nice team actually in general, a war team like Omega Red with Sabertooth and of course Magneto. Because then you have the metal champs and robot champs covered, while all the other fights mostly Omega Red is very good for. But yeah, the trick is to parry heavy, just get myself to an SP3 and get him as low as possible. And with that I mean literally to 1% in his first phase. Just need to think about the protect flow knockdown thingy. That of course I'm not using Omega Red, so he will shrug my parries and my heal block. But the trick is to get him to 1 or 3%, then heavy, you will see the heal block on him, then you do an SP3 immediately. So when you see the heal block and he's at 1%, you SP3 immediately, and basically you come out the SP3 animation like you just saw, where he will be at 1%, he won't trigger his decoy, and if you are lucky, you have some bleeds on him. So he dies from the bleed after a few seconds, because at first they weren't doing damage, but then they start doing damage. But at the same time, he's also a little bit bugged that he doesn't even enter his second phase. So even if I don't have bleeds, I can parry him and then do one hit because he's literally at 1 HP. If he would trigger his second phase, because that used to be like that, then you just want to get an intercept off or hit him on the block if you don't have any bleeds on him. If he does have any bleeds on him, you just wait it out. But yeah, currently it's still bugged, so if you don't have any bleeds, then you can just parry and do normal hit or hit him on the block even. So yeah, here the Mixmaster Cork, first war. Cork placed on Mixmaster. It's a tier 2 war, so I think in tier 2 actually we see a lot of Corks on Mixmaster. I think in tier 1 most of the alliances play something else. Honestly, it used to be a hard note, it isn't anymore. I was still talking about the previous fight, but yeah, I have plenty of examples of this fight in video form on the channel. But honestly, this one might have been the cleanest one. I just do medium light, so I don't trigger Mixmaster. I don't do like the light, medium, or medium, light, medium. Why? Because of course at first he can shrug it off. But then even when he can't shrug it off, if I do light, medium, if he then does an SP1, I can't counter him with the medium, because then he will evade. So that's why I, at the start, just play safe, do medium light hits, so he can't evade that, get my spores up, and then yeah, end of the fight basically. And hopefully finish with an SP3 to get that extra healing, which I did actually fail that fight. My SP3 did KO him, so I didn't get the healing. Now this fight is EMP mod Iron Man Infinitor. Also with when you have a buff expiring on you that you lose power. So you think, wait, Iron Man Infinitor, Metal Champ, why not use Magneto? Well, the problem with Magneto is that he can still get those EMP like passive shocks on him, and he's not shock immune, or doesn't take reduced shock damage. He takes reduced shock damage from shock debuffs. Oh, so yeah, here I lost power because I had the dex on me, because I didn't want to dex actually a lot, or at all. I did dex once because I knew like, oh, he will have the EMP mods on him, but he won't throw special then. Well, he did here, and here I did get hit, and this is what I meant with me walking forward before he even was launching in SP1. So that was a strange thing, because honestly, I wouldn't, yes, let's say stand there or whatever. So like actually, luckily I'm actually alive there, but the degen damage did, because the passive shock damage was still going on. But luckily he died from the spores with the degen still on, so that's a little bit unlucky. I was planning to take the fight Mangog immediately after, but then I waited till the next day because I didn't want to heal myself boosted. Because even now, unboosted, it takes 5 level 4 pots to heal me to full, basically. So I didn't want to do that. I didn't have any minis, so I knew that I could boost here and take my pot, and that's it for the day. Compared to the day before, if I took a Mangog, I wouldn't even reach Thor or Hulkbusters. So those fights were for the day after anyways. So I just waited, so it's cheaper to heal me up, but still quite expensive. Mangog, fairly new champion. In off-season I had some, well, I say practice against the boss, but he was very low. Someone else already tried something at first, just to have a feel of what possible counters were if he's placed as boss. But he's not a very good boss, because he lacks the base stats. If you have seen any reviews of Mangog, he just lacks the base stats, and also on defense that's the exact same. Look at his health drain. And of course on this note, path to section 2, you want to alter your combos and then throw an SP1 if you don't want suppression on you. But because it's just suppression, and with Omega Red you don't need that many specials, it's whatever. It's you don't care about it. I was just caring about getting my spores up and lock them with the degen. And of course against Mangog you just don't want to do full combos, because then he gets that hatred or whatever it's called, and yeah, then at 10, if he launches a special attack, he becomes like unblockable and unstoppable for a few seconds or something. But yeah, I knew that he would die from the passive damage, just as this Thor will do before he gets that power gain. Because here you do want to throw a special against a Thor, so that's why Thor is often placed here. I say often, maybe not that often, but I definitely see him more placed in tier 2 on this node, because with the power sting that you get from reaching above power and the suppression, it is not convenient. Um, Especially you want to, because you want to get rid of the suppression or not trigger the suppression by launching your SP1. The problem is you will launch your SP1 before he gets 20 stacks or 20 charges, Thor Ragnarok. Um, so I'm not sure if you can line your special with his power gain to stop his power gain. I'm not 100% sure. Um, but yeah, anyways, Omega Red rank 3 SIG 200. Don't need many hits. Again, I've said it so many times. That's why I like him. You don't need many hits to defeat a champ. So against Thor Ragnarok, you can finish fights before he gets he even gets the power gain. At least on like if he's placed on a pad, not a mini. Now here this is buffet. Um, this is buffet Hulkbuster. Um, I don't like Magneto too much on this node actually because of the suppression. I've had like Warlock, Hulkbuster, Sentinel, because basically you can't get to an SP3 on this node. I could alter my combo and just do SP1s, right, with some prowesses, but I'm running suicides. Even though it's my last fight, I could have definitely done that. I was thinking I can just end this fight with normal hits. You have 5 minutes. It's a rank 5 Hulkbuster. I'm rank 3 Magneto. The only thing in this fight that I wouldn't recommend is that charging heavy. Because why am I even actually charging heavy? Like, let's be real. I'm not throwing any specials. Why would I want to double up on my prowesses? That only affects specials. So I'm not sure what I was doing there. I think I do change it at the end. Or stop doing it, because now I'm not getting any power. Because how the suppression works is your power gets drained if you hit the opponent. So at times I still have my special. I think I lose all the suppression, which I should have done actually when I had the SP1. Then I should have thrown the SP1 because the ability X reduction actually can prevent from one gaining the suppression or losing power from the suppression. That can happen. That's why I still had, let's say, a special one early on. But yeah, that's the war one. Very good war. Crazy enough, our first war, um, and we have a not only a deathless war for myself. I didn't have that many fights or hard fights, let's be honest, but still, it's just no BS deaths that might have happened with my old phone. Um, but yeah, the entire BG again didn't die, and it's the first war. Came so close a few seasons ago, and last season we had like 3 or 4 deathless wars, while also coming close to even more. And now immediately our first war, uh, it's crazy. Um, so yeah, congrats to BG2 again for not dying, and the other BGs also had a very strong performance. As you can see, only 6 deaths in total. Also, well, fair play to the opponents, because they actually also had a very strong performance. Because normally, even we ourselves last season, even in tier 2 sometimes, even though we did have, let's say, like master tier alliances as opponents in tier 2 even, um, yeah, the performance of this alliance, actually only 12 deaths, is still very strong. But yeah, for us, only having 6 deaths um, is very strong, and hopefully we'll keep that going in the tier 1 wars as well, and against maybe even master alliances. Let's hope so. But yeah, that will be it for today. Short one, and hopefully see you later.